There we are.
Hello, Sophie P. All good? Everyone all right? Excellent. Good stuff, good stuff.
I'm just going to check that the volume's coming out. Okay for everyone else?
Yeah. Does that work for you, Chrissy? We've got volume coming on the outside. Yes? Yes, yes, no? No, no, yes? Yes, yes, yes? No, no, no? I think we're good. I think we're good. Hope everyone's had a good day today. It's been a little bit chillier than it has been recently. I've got to say, I've been a bit nesh, but it's been a very pleasant day nonetheless. We've been planting more plants. We've planted out some cucumbers today in our little polytunnel. So yeah, they're ready to take seed, and some enormous bean plants which my son planted at the end of school before the coronavirus.
Oh, Zoe's coming in the room.
So yeah, they are getting huge. So hopefully they'll be very fruitful.
Hi Zoe. Zoe, you've got to put your camera on so we can see some of your splendid yoga.
We just need to see the lipstick and leggings, to be fair. What we got time-wise?
We've got 53 seconds, wife.
Ooh, juicy, juicy.
And who else have we got with us? We've got Ariana, Claire, Emily, Jill, Joe, Loredana, Hafithra, and Rachel.
Hi team, nice to see you all.
And everyone at home as well.
Fab.
Oh, take my glasses off, although I'll be
Take
flying
glasses
across
off.
the room. So I did give a rendition before. Please join us on Saturday for Heroes for Heroes.
Super.
£5 for Children's Sheffield Hospital COVID-19 appeal, and join us on Sunday for a gut health seminar. There are 2 events you can do. On the
Hey
weekend.
look, the diary's getting filled up now, isn't it? Okay, come on
15
down.
seconds.
When you are ready, we shall prepare ourselves. I'm just going to take out my earpiece.
Me too.
There we go, there we go. So, taking the knees out nice and wide, we're going to drape our spine nice and long. Find a lovely, easy, wide-legged child's pose. So if you've not practiced this before, just slide the hands out towards the front edge of your mat. Let your forehead drop down towards the earth. And if you feel like your bottom's sticking in the air, don't worry. Over time, you'll be able to sink those hips down towards the heels, allowing the spine to drape, creating a little bit of space between the vertebrae. And have a go at just pressing into the fingertips as well. So if you can arch the palms off the floor, that will lift the elbows off the ground. Just allow yourself to sink the ears between the upper arms. So really working into releasing a bit of tension and stress out of the shoulders, letting the hips be nice and heavy, and just working into the hip flexors a little bit here. So just going to take a few deep, steady breaths. Allow your mind to clear whatever it is you've been doing today. Just see if you can create a little bit of space in between those ears of yours as we rest easy in our child's pose. If you've got lots of background noise, you've got kids running around or the dog's going mad, just see if you can shut a door or two and allow yourself a bit of me time and a bit of space. Give yourself 3 more full rounds of breath in your child's pose. Of course, if this doesn't work for you, having the palms lifted, then just pop them down on the floor, let the elbows come down. Any modifications that you need to take throughout the sequence, please take them. It's entirely your practice, not mine, so go with what you feel comfortable with. All right,
joining us. Hi Ian.
Hi Ian, one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, just release, maybe a little sigh out, woo, like a firework. And then inhaling, coming all the way up, finding your way into your child's pose. Walk the knees back underneath the hips and taking the hands underneath your chest or underneath your shoulders. Find a nice even tabletop position. Squeeze in the belly and let's start to flow through our cat and cow. I'll give you a few options with this one. So you can either inhale, using the pelvis to tilt the sit bones back, drop the belly down, allow the chest and the heart to lift up between the upper arms, letting the gaze come forwards, and then as you exhale, rounding through the spine, tucking the pelvis underneath, finding a bit more space through the vertebra, letting the gaze travel towards the toes. Inhale, reversing that process. And exhaling, release. If you do want to take this a little bit further, let the hips drop down towards the heels, and then inhale, keeping the elbows nice and close, scooping the chest forwards into your cow pose. So a little bit of a play around here in cat and cow. Always good to get the spine nice and mobile. If you've got any stiffness in the back, if you've been sitting still or you've slept funny, it's just nice to get a bit of movement through the spine. Just give me one more round wherever you are. And exhaling. Perfect. Well done. From there, just allow your gaze to come down between the fingertips and just have a look at your hands for a minute. Just check out the fingers are spread out wide. And then we're just going to take the weight forwards on the next breath in. So as you inhale, just taking the forehead or the crown of the head towards the front edge of your space. And then allow yourself to rock back. And just turn the hands in a little bit here. So you're taking the thumbs towards each other. And again, just rolling the weight forwards. And back. Good. Now turn the hands out. So the fingers are facing towards the outside edge of your mat. Again, roll the weight forwards. And slowly back. And then finally, if it feels okay, so you can bring the fingertips to face the knees. And again, just allow yourself a little rock forwards, not too far, and a little rock back as well. So just warming up into the wrists there. Perfect. Pop those hands back the right way around, swivel them round, give them a little shake out. And let's find down dog. Tuck those toes, inhale, and squeeze and lift the sit bones. Lots of knee bend if you need to. Let the gaze come down towards the toes, and just feel that lovely long spine. Slide the shoulders away from the ears, all the way down the back, and see if you can work with that breath out to bring the heels down a bit deeper. See if you can melt that heart towards the thighs a little bit. So try to keep the weight even between your shoulders and your hips. So you don't feel like you're on a little bit of a wonk. Just let the head drape down, nice and heavy. So that's going to be your counterbalance there. Full deep breath in. Feel that line of energy. Zipping up the arms all the way to your sit bones, then all the way down the legs. Maybe exhaling, planting the heels down. If you do want to pedal out the legs, you can alternate even one lift of each heel, if that feels okay. I'm quite happy today just holding my dog here. So taking a few breaths just to feel the pose, allow yourself to stretch out, to strengthen. Any variation of your down dog is cool. One more breath, find that energy that we're going to need for our practice today. And as you take your next release of breath, walk the feet towards the fingertips of the front edge of your mat. Now you can bring the feet closer together, or you can take them to hip distance apart. It's entirely up to you. Slide the fingertips up to a comfortable space on the shins as we elongate through the spine into your halfway lift. So gaze is down here, back of the neck's nice and long. Just as imagine you're balancing a tray of gin and tonics on your back. You don't want to spill a drop. So nice flat back. So none of this rounded malarkey. We don't want to spill. Inhale. And then slowly soften the knees if you need to allow yourself to release down into your forward fold. So let all that blood allow itself to flow with ease towards the upper parts of your brain, your ears, your eyes. Nice resting forward fold. Nice good one for relieving fatigue. Maybe catch the elbows. Just saying hello to the hamstrings. Have a little sway around. 2 more breaths here. And then releasing back through centre. Nice little stretch out for the lower back. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise up. Bringing the hands together, or maybe just the palms facing. Take a little squeeze forward to the hips. Little baby back bend. And then slowly releasing. You can either take the hands out wide and swan dive if you've got nobody or you've got space, or you can take the hands down through the heart centre. Pop the hands down just in front of the feet and take a big step or a hop back into your plank pose. Now you can come down onto the knees. I'll demonstrate it for you if you want. Take the weight forward wherever you are. Squeeze the elbows in and then slow lower down. Chest and chin coming down to meet them at the same time. Inhale, push up, press the chest, lift the heart as you find up dog. Gaze can be forwards or up towards the ceiling. And then from here, tucking the toes and scooping the sit bones back towards the back end of your mat before lifting high into your down dog. So sorry to say, we've got a bit of a beastly plank workout coming up next. I think I must have designed this one. So let the head drop down, prepare yourself for that beastly plank. We're going to start just by coming into a halfway lift and having another little stretch out first. When you're ready, this time if you want to bend the knees and lift and float your way forwards, try and land softly. Hands coming forwards and to meet the feet coming forwards to meet the hands. Inhale. And then exhale, release from your halfway lift into your floppy forward fold. Take a little breath in. And another release on the way down. Really let some weight travel through the back of the neck and the head. Stretching out for 3, 2, 1. Good. Bend the knees. Inhale to rise up. Reach. And another little back bend if you fancy. Press the hips forwards. Release just as far as you fancy. And then coming all the way down. Well done. Plant those hands down and hop or your step your way back into your plank. So we're going to start off with a 3-legged plank, drawing a little rainbow with our big toe. So make sure you're not rolling over to one side, keep the hips square to the mat. Inhale, lift up with the right toe. Now you can drop the left knee down if you need to on this one. If your wrists bother you, just pop onto the forearms as well. So we're going to take a little crossover behind you, tap the right toe on the outside edge of your mat, the left side, and then slowly, drawing that nice careful arc shape, tap down on the right hand side. So we're just going to keep moving slowly between the two. Try not to stick your bottom in there and pipe the hips up. Try and keep that nice flat shape along the back body. Well done. Keep going for 3, 2, nice, control it. And 1, keep that right foot lifted. I want you to post it underneath the body, finding a fallen pyramid. So we're going to reach up with that left arm, nice big stretch and expanse through the chest. If you can, see if you can slide that right foot forwards a bit more. So we're working into the groin and the hips. Take that full inhalation, feel strong in your fallen pyramid. Deep full breaths for 3, 2, 1, take the gaze down, take the left hand down, you know where we're going, pivot on that back foot so the heel is lifted and let us knock out. Should we go for 2 presses, inhale, exhale, elbows come right in next to the rib cage and squeeze to lift, lovely job, 1 more, lower, we're taking 3-legged dog next, so prepare, squeeze and lift, well done, make sure those back toes are tucked and then scooping high with your right leg, you might just want to adjust where that left foot lands. And stretching out nice and high, we good? Straight up that back leg a bit, Chrissy, point those toes.
I'm trying.
3-legged dog, it's just a bullying session for my husband. Deep
I thought it was
stretch for 3. Move those shoulders way towards those lifted toes. 2. And 1, well done. Pop the right foot down. Are we ready for the other side? Here we go. Ripple and roll forward. Squeeze that belly as we roll forward back into plank. Maybe you lift up with the left foot and pop the right knee down. It's up to you. So taking those little rainbow squeezes, tapping out one side of the mat and the other. So we want to keep the gaze down so the spine remains aligned. So building strength in the torso, in the shoulders, working into the glute as well as we lift. Over.
Is the heating on?
The heating's not on. 1 more. Remember, we're going for a fallen pyramid, sometimes called fallen triangle. Throw the left foot underneath. Open out with the right arm. Stacking the right arm on top of the left. And then see if you can take a nice big exhalation and open up a bit more. Lift those hips nice and high. Great big expanse, big wingspan. For 3, 2, and 1, let's take 2 presses. Float down with the gaze with the right hand. Inhale. Exhale, come forwards with the weight slightly lower down, all the way down. Mwah! Kiss the floor. Back up and lower. All the way down. Mwah! Kiss the floor. 3-legged dog. Tuck the right toe, shoot the left foot high. So hips want to be square to the floor. Gaze towards that back toe and elongate that lifted left leg. Well done. Inhale. And exhale. Perfect. 3. Really pressing into the knuckles here, not the heel of the hand if you can. 2. And 1, float down, left foot meets right. We're going to look towards the front of your mat and we're going to walk our way forward. Little baby steps coming all the way forwards. We're going to take a standing lean back, okay? So baby back bend here. Find your way into a halfway lift. And exhale, stay here. As you inhale, roll up through the spine, rippling and rolling all the way up to standing. Take a little roll of the shoulders. So you've got options here to stay with the heels down. If you want to have a go at lifting up with the heels, so just make it that little bit more challenging. Okay, so we're going to take the hands into the lower back. Now you can take the palms down, so the fingers are down, or you can reverse the hands, take the fingers up towards the ceiling, so the thumbs are touching essentially. It's entirely up to you. So stand up nice and tall. Feel grounded through the feet. Inhale and exhale. Squeeze the elbows together as you start to press the hips forwards. That's it, so just opening up gently. Inhale to come up whenever you're ready. You might start to feel this if your hips are quite tight across the fronts of your hips as well as in the lower back space. But embrace it. We're going to take another one. Inhale. And exhale again. Just slowly squeezing the elbows together, just finding a bit more room. Obviously, this is going to test our balance, so we start to move our centre of gravity towards the back of the room. And stretching out the abs nicely there. Inhale, come forwards. Feel connected, feel stacked. Are we ready? Reach up with the arms. And exhale, swan dive. Down we go. Hands plant, step or hop back, find your high plank. Alright, we're going to go for side plank explosion. So we're going to move from one side to the other with a little bit of pace. So just to show you, right hand down, left arm up, back through centre, left arm down, right arm up. If you want to get the legs involved, kick up high. If your balance is there today, squeeze the lift. One more each side, and then we've got a split dog. Back through centre, and lift. Well done. Back through full plank. Drop down onto the right forearm. Left hand wants to be level with the right elbow. And I'm going to walk the toes towards the chin. Lifting up, finding our split dog. So building strength here. Now, temptation is always to roll onto this forearm side. Keep the weight even. Let the gaze travel down towards the toes. So working into stretching out the hammies and the calves, but also building some shoulder strength. Don't let those shoulders swamp you. That's it. Deep breath in. And out for 3, 2, feel connected with the breath here. And 1, we've got this. We're going straight in, other side. Left forearm down, right hand walks back. If you're knackered, just have a little rest. Let the sit bones keep working high towards the ceiling here. Don't allow yourself to slouch into the shoulder area. Full deep breaths. The asymmetry on this pose, really firing up your nervous system as well, making you think about this pose. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. Press into both forearms and see if you can squeeze to lift at the same time into a full dog. Nicely done, nicely done. All right, we've got supine. I'm going to let you have a little bit of a rest and thread the needle. So, options here are coming down onto the knees. You might want to take this one. Okay, we're going to take a kneeling Superman where we take the opposite arm and opposite leg. We're going to go right arm, left leg into this stretch out, testing the balance. If you're game, are you game, mate?
I'm game.
If you're game,
I'm game, Jen.
All right, we're going to go from plank. So, have a think about which foot and which arm you want to lift off. I'm going right arm and left leg. Again, think about not piking up through the hips here, catching that balance. Well done. Hold, hold, hold.
We're going to have to do this for Saturday's
3,
Heroes for Heroes class.
2, 1. Float into the other side. Right hand comes down, left foot comes down. Remember, you've got the kneeling option if you want. Right foot lifts. Ooh, left arm extends away.
Ooh.
Well done. Keep squeezing those abs for me. 3. Keep the hips level and square. 2. And 1. Awesome job. Bring the knees down if you're not already down. Let's have a little stretch out through those hard-working shoulders. Threading the needle, releasing a bit of tension through the upper back. Inhale when you're ready. Right arm's going to come up and towards the sky. As you exhale, we're going to post the right hand behind the left wrist and snuggle down onto our right shoulder. So really stretching out through the upper back, through the deltoids. You can take the left arm out in front if that feels okay, maybe sweeping the left arm all the way around the lower back if that feels nicer for you. And just enjoy a few steady breaths, letting the heart rate slow down a little bit. Well done, we're going to stay here for too long. Just another 2 breaths. I hope you're not swearing at me at home, Zoe. You know, I know how you love these plank rounds.
I just hope you've turned the heating off. Otherwise you're sweating.
1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale, release that left hand underneath your left shoulder. Press back up through tabletop and straight into our other side. So right hand should be underneath your right shoulder. Fingers spread out. Inhale, lift up with the left arm. Find that lovely rotation through the spine. You can let the gaze all the way to the ceiling if you like, before posting the left arm underneath or behind that right wrist. So options to extend the right arm forward. You can always tempt through the fingers as well if you like. Just allowing the tops of the feet to rest easy on the mat. Full deep breaths. You've got the option of bringing the right arm around that lower back and just tucking the fingers into the left hip crease. Super job. Full breath in. And out. One more. You've got this, guys. And releasing right hand underneath right shoulder. Inhale, rising back through centre. And just to finish off with, we've got our fantastic zombie camels that Rosie and I had a little play with. So inhaling, rolling up onto the knees. So it's a bit of a strengthener for the old quads here. You really need to fire up your buns, your glutes, okay? So make sure that your knees are underneath your hips and you're standing up on the knees nice and tall, so we're not hunched through the spine. We're going to take a breath, that's it, inhale. As you exhale, I want you to start to float backwards, so you're leaning back. Just come a little way, come a long way, it's up to you. Maybe take it just a little way to start off with, then inhale your way back up through centre. So I feel when we're looking at this pose, we decided we look like a zombie rising from the dead. So you're working into a little bit of a back bend, but
and
not
the
much.
camel, what are the two bumps?
Well, your camel pose
Oh,
is
that
this
camel,
one,
okay.
isn't it? Yes. Yeah, so
I thought it
starting.
was leading with the boobs.
No, not leading with the boobs, they're not the two lumps. Alright, one more. You can rest this one if you like, it's quite intense on the thighs. Leaning back, and then squeeze it to lift. Amazing job, well done. Come back through tabletop, extend one leg long, then the other. Let's transition. So squeeze those elbows in, take the weight forwards, lower down, find your low plank. Inhale, lift up into your upward facing dog, and gently rolling through into your down dog. Now, you might want a brick or a book for this next section. We're going to be working through standing half moons and revolved half moons and revolved triangles and things, so it's quite handy if you do want a brick to grab one of those now. Alrighty, so when you're ready, take a look towards the hands. We can either hop or take a little step forwards. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, release down, all the way down, just hang out there. Chrissy, do you want a block?
I do.
You have a block, there you go. So if you've got something to hand.
I always do the basic moves, and I also sometimes do it wrong just to
help you guys, he's generous
just
like
to
that.
help.
Alright, so starting with standing half moon. Down here in your forward fold, we're going to plant the left hand down just in front of the left foot, and you can keep the right hand down just to start off with, or you just start thinking about squeezing the right glute as you extend up with the right leg. So from here, the hips are facing down. What we want to do is try and work into an opener so that we can bring the right hand onto the right hip, and we can roll that right hip so it's stacked on top of the left. And you've got a few options from here. So if you've got that brick and you feel like you need to pop your hand on the brick, that's fine. If you want to extend your right arm up into the air, you could. Or you can have a go at taking this dance of variation, bringing the right hand onto the right foot, bringing the heel to the bum, and again just stretching out into the quad here as well. So those zombie lean backs really opening into that space already. So finding your little hover and hold, really opening up, particularly if you've got the arm up towards the ceiling. You're really finding lots of stretch and open through the whole of the body here. You can keep the gaze down if you feel a little bit wobbly. You could look to the horizon, or you could aim to look up towards the top hands as well. So we're going to find a bit of stress relief next in our triangle pose. Take an inhale. When you exhale, we're to float your right lifted leg, or the foot, towards the back edge of your mat. You want to turn the toes out. So we want to heel to inner arch alignment, or heel to heel if you want to be a little bit more unsteady. We're going to float the arms up to shoulder height. Take a breath to prepare yourself. Feel like you're nice and stable, you're not wobbling. And we're going to exhale and start to reach with the left finger, sliding the right hip towards the back of your space, keeping both legs nice and straight. When you feel like you can't reach any further, we're going to float the left hand down as the right arm comes up. Now it doesn't matter whether you're quite high, okay, it doesn't matter whether your hand's on the floor. I just want you to feel like if I came around and squished you between two panes of glass, you'd be alright because your bottom wouldn't be sticking out too much. Again, so it's a nice stretch out through the groin, through the inside of the thighs. You think about what's happening through the chest and the torso, really reaching and opening out here. So again, the gaze can be up towards the top hand, over to the horizon, or down towards the floor. And if you've got your block and you're feeling wobbly, pop your hand on the block, pop your hand on your shin. Find a little bit of support if you feel that you need it. Take an inhale. and an exhale. Good. All right, we're going to have a go at revolve triangle. So we're going to float down with the right hand as we lift up with the left. So we're aiming to rotate through the torso, bringing the right hand down and taking the left arm up towards the ceiling instead. Now this one you might need a brick or a block for, okay? So it's quite a rotation through the spine. So you're aiming to bring the right hand down just in by the side of that left foot. Again, tucking the pelvis under, but finding that rotation through the torso. Keep pressing away into the outside edge of that back foot for me. Nice stretch into that left hamstring. Well done. Tricky transition coming up. We're going to float into a revolved half moon. So if you've got vases and anything nearby which you could fall on, maybe pop them to one side. Okay, start to release the gaze down towards your front foot. Readjust the hand slightly, take it slightly further forwards of the toes. When you're ready, start to float up. Keep that front knee bent if you need to, and then start to extend and lift. So both hips are currently facing the floor. When you feel ready, start to open up. Okay, so it might be a bit of a wobbly transition. Really feel that base foot grounding into the floor and kick up and extend with that lifted leg. That's going to give you lots of stability as we open up through our twist. I'm not going to hold it for too long. We're going to head into a warrior two soon. For 3, 2, 1. Always take the gaze down first. Float back into your warrior two. So right toes are turned out as we windmill up and over with the arms. Again, find that heel to inner arch alignment, except this time the front leg is bent. So the shoulders are in line with each other, and we're not reaching forward with the arms. We want the torso to be nice and tall through, and we're not leaning forwards, okay? So start to come down a bit deeper into your warrior two. Think about this front knee and make sure it's not knocking into center, which can sometimes happen. Keep pressing it away down towards the left-hand side of the mat, and if you're feeling able to, come down a bit deeper. Maybe lift up with the front heel if you want to take it a bit more challenging this evening. Nice work. For 3. Looking good at home, folks. 2. And 1. Pop that left heel down for me. We're going to transition towards the back of our mats. As we turn this left foot, we're going to drop down into our surfer's lunge. A little one-legged toe stand. So you're sitting down on the right heel. We're extending through the left leg, toes to the ceiling. Nice tall spine. Fingers can stay down on the floor. Or you can take the hands to the heart center, or maybe take the arms up into the air. Just make sure the shoulders stay heading down towards the floor. So catch the balance. If you have got a book or a block, you can pop it under this heel here. That can just allow you to be a bit more stable. Or if you've not got one of those to hand, just pop down onto the knee. If you're really struggling with the balance, just have the knee down instead. So you're still feeling that nice stretch into the groin. Good stuff. All right. From here, we're going to walk up into an extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale on that next breath in. Transfer your weight into that front leg. So the left toes are still facing forwards, right toes are still turned out. We've got our left forearm onto our left thigh, and we're stretching up and over. Finding a bit of space in the torso again, and keeping that pelvis tucked under, glutes engaged, maybe turning the gaze to look underneath that right armpit. So you're really rolling this right shoulder back. Again, check out this knee, make sure it's not dropping into centre, it's tempting. If you've got any other variations of your extended side angle that you want to have a go with tonight, that's fine, have a little play. If you're looking at just really working on this variation, see how far away you can get the fingertips from the right foot. Stretch and reach for 3, 2, and 1. Take the gaze down, take the hands down. Turn the left toes to face the long side of the mat as we come into our surfer's lunge on the other side. So heading towards the short front side of your mat now with the weight. Again, hands down, pop a brick under the heel, pop the knee down, entirely up to you. Just see if you can bring the right toes up towards the ceiling on that extended leg. So find your focus, find that level of concentration needed to stay balanced. Think about all those little muscles around the body which are helping us to stay in this position, really working hard for us. Full breath in. Perfect. Good job. 3, 2. Final move of this sequence is a wild thing. And 1. Float down with both hands. Walk your way around towards the front of the mat. So in this sort of sprinter start position. Really press down into that right foot as you squeeze and lift the left leg, bending at the knee and rolling over into your wild thing. So nice little back bend to stretch out with here. If you've not got a full wild thing in your practice and you don't feel able to do that, bring the right knee down, step behind with the left leg and take your kneeling variation instead. So we're going to take all of this on the other side. One more breath here. Squeeze those glutes, lift up through the hips. Perfect. You look amazing upside down. Well done, team. Hi. And exhale, bring the left hand down, bring the left foot back in line with the right, and shoot your way back to down dog. Lift up the hips, have a little wiggle round, a little sway round. And then when you're ready, let's make our way to the front edge of our mat. Bouncing or walking the toes forward, you choose. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Brace yourself, folks. Get ready for the second side.
We've got this.
We've got this. We have. Exhale, release. Okay, so from here, we're going to go standing half moon. Right hand in front of right foot. Pop a brick down under your right hand if you need to. Use your left hand if you want to, just to start up as we lift up with our left heel. So let the heel guide you here. So we're flexing the back foot. So hips are currently facing down. Catch that balance if you can as you open out. So remember, you can take left hand to left hip to start off with. Really working on the glute meads here to squeeze and lift that back leg as high as you can. And staying here is absolutely wonderful. Just hang out here, see if you can roll that top shoulder back a bit. Okay, maybe extend the left arm, maybe catch a hold of the left foot, taking a dancer variation. Or you can have a play with floating the right hand off the floor if you're feeling super balanced this evening. Any variation works well for me. Inhale. Exhale. Remember where we're going next? Triangle pose. One more breath. On the exhale, slow release. Okay, so bringing the left foot to the back edge of your mat. Two straight legs for this one. Heel to inner arch alignment. Float up with the arms. Inhale here. Look forwards. Reach forwards with the exhale as far as you can before you start to bring the right hand down and the left arm up. I remember first doing triangle years ago, and the balance and the focus of just trying to do this pose.
I find that with every pose, Jen.
I know, well everybody, that's the thing about yoga, everybody has to start somewhere. Yeah. It's, you know, totally a journey for everybody. Some poses I don't think I'll ever be able to do. We keep working on it, don't we? We keep having a go. Allowing the hips to press forwards here. One more breath, finding space through the torso, lengthening out. As you exhale, see if you can float the left hand down inside the right foot and float the right arm up, revolve triangle. So you've got your bricks to hand or something. If you've not got your hand down on the floor, you can always take it onto the ankle. A bit more challenging because you've not got your hand resting on something outside of the foot, but if that works for you, a cushion, a rolled up blanket, towel, it can be anything. Just as long as you find that point of contact. And think about what's happening through the spine here and what good we're doing to our internal organs. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, take the gaze down, pivot on the back foot, maybe readjust that left hand. I'm going to float up and lift with that left back foot this time. So coming into that revolved standing half moon, left hand down, right foot down, taking the gaze over towards the right hand side of your space. See if we can bring the right shoulder on top of the left as we open out as much as we can. Make sure we're squeezing through the belly here, lifting that back leg nice and high. Well done. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Float down with that back left foot, coming into warrior 2. So we want the toes turned out on the back foot. Again, heel to inner arch alignment, but this time sink into that front knee. Float up with the arms once more. Take a look forwards with intent, with purpose. Over those left fingertips.
We are warriors.
We are warriors, indeed. Now just have a sneaky glance at that back hand. If it's down here somewhere, get a warrior arm involved and get it nice and high. Relax the shoulders down the back, away from the ears, squeeze in the belly, and then come a bit deeper. Okay, coming deeper doesn't mean moving forwards. I want your hips to sink south. Maybe lift up through that front heel if you want to. Awesome, we've got a right set of warriors. Well done. For 3, 2, we're ready for our surface lunge. And 1, release the weight towards the back of your mat as you pivot on that front foot. Drop onto the left heel or bring the left knee down, your choice. Catch the balance here wherever You want to be with your surface lunge, hands at heart centre.
Big smile.
Hands in the air, big cheesy grin,
Massive
raise the
cheesy.
hands. Ooh, you're making me unbalance here. For 3. We've got side angle coming up, followed by another surface lunge and then a wow thing. 2. And 1. Making our way towards the front edge of our mat, turn the front toes out. Find that knee, hip and ankle alignment and we stretch out into our side angle. Again, think about that knee pressing to the long right edge of your mat, rolling that left shoulder back. Okay, you can release the hands down if you wish, taking more of a wingspan, but keep pressing the hips forwards. So we're really squeezing and tucking the sit bones under. Just finding a bit more space. Good one for building stamina this pose. For 3, 2,
I'm loving this.
and 1. Take the gaze down, bring the left hand down, turn the right toes towards the left side of your mat and drop into your surface lunge. Always good as part of a vinyasa practice, surface lunge, it's really dynamic. Find length through the spine, so really sit up tall through this practice and this pose. Bring the hands together. You might find one side feels a bit more balanced than the other. That's perfectly normal. Keep those left toes facing towards the ceiling. Drop the shoulder blades down the back, squeeze in that belly button. For 3, wild thing coming up. Remember, you've got your kneeling option if you need to. 2, 1, float the hands down, walk the hands round to the front edge of the mat, tuck the left toes. Are you ready for this? Boom, there it goes. Right foot lifts, exhale, flip it like it's hard, flip it like it's hard. Find your wild thing. Squeeze those hips, well done. Lift, lift, lift. For 3, 2, and 1. Awesome sauce, guys. Well done. Come back through centre. Find your high plank. Drop to the knees if you need to. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. And exhale to down dog. Stretch and reach and lift. Let's see what we've got. All right. Taking pigeon pose next. Inhale, right foot high. Exhale, bring the knee out, behind the right wrist and slide that left leg long. So take a little glance over your left shoulder, check that your left leg is in line with the left hip. Inhale, lift up through the chest, stay put if you want, full pigeon pose, or if you're wanting to come down into sleeping pigeon, come down onto the forearms. Make sure you're not rolling the weight over to the right, try and stay with the hips even here. And if you want to take it down a little bit further, you can melt the chest right down. Where are you off to?
I just noticed there was a mouse in the middle of the, like, not a mouse.
Ah!
Yeah, a computer mouse on everyone's screen. So I've just moved it.
So here's a little fact for you about pigeon pose. It's mentally quite challenging and it allows you to empathise with other areas in your life, which I thought was quite relevant in this particular day and age. So the mental challenge, our ability to sit with uncomfortable situations, shall we say. So
I failed the other day. I had a tantrum at an 11-year-old, and I think that was the wrong way around. So that's a fail.
all right, well done. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Suck it up. Inhale and release. Good. Press into the hands. Drop down onto your right butt cheek and just sweep that left leg all the way around. Okay, so we're coming into a seated cow pose. So I want you to take the right leg, pop it up and over the left thigh, and then I want you to continue the foot's journey so it comes onto the outside edge. So it's on the right edge. And I want you to just keep wiggling your leg around until you get that right knee sat on top of the left. So this is half cow. If you've got it in your practice to take full cow pose, where you've got knee stacked on top of knee, again, it might be helpful to sit on a cushion or a brick, letting the toes face out here. Inhale. You might be able to feel that already into the outside of the hips. I can. Maybe start to take a little forward fold, but keep the sit bones down on the floor. That's it. Doesn't have to be too dramatic. You don't have to sink down to your big toe.
Can't move that leg.
That's okay. Just work on sending the sit bones back and leading with the crown of the head, melting the chest down just a little bit. I find this really juicy. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Right hand onto the top knee. Sweep the left hand around. Let's take a little twist. Lift up nice and tall. As you exhale, find that lovely rotation, moving all the way around, letting the gaze end up where it ends up. No pressure to look over the back shoulder. Just feel that lovely twist into the spine. And then inhale your way back to centre. Well done. Let's have a little roll forwards from here. So if you can, rolling forwards, taking the hands down, taking this uncomfortable cross position and extending the legs back into your dog. Well done. Let's take the other side. Inhale the left foot high. Exhale, knee behind the left wrist. Flex the front foot if you can. Slide away with the back leg. Okay, if you find that pigeon doesn't work for you, take a bend in that back leg and take an animal pose instead, okay? So any variation, you can stay high in your pigeon, you can come down into your sleeping pigeon if you like. Just see if you can release all the muscles in this back right leg, including your buttocks, and we hold tension in funny places like your jaw as well, so just see if you can slacken off the jaw a little bit. We've got 2 minutes. Inhale. And release down. Exhale. Really nice, everyone. Well done. I'm proud of you all for managing with this situation that we're in. Alright, inhale here, press up into the hands, drop onto the left side, sweep around with the right leg so it's lengthened out, and then lifting up with the left, take it over the top, so knee stacked on top of knee, right toes to the ceiling, left toes pointing over towards the right hand side of your space, so you're on the outside edge. That's your easier variation. You want to fold the other leg under as well, so your feet are now your cow horns. You might be able to feel that on the outside edge of the hips. Don't worry about it, Chris. Sit on a block or a cushion. Stay with the single side. Inhale here. Nice little squeeze of the belly as we lengthen out. Just enjoying a bit of space through the outside of the hips there. For 3, 2,
I'm not sure about rolling out of this, but we've had children, so we'll give it a go.
1. We're taking a twist first. Inhale, rise up. Left hand, left knee. Sweep the right hand all the way around to the lower, to the floor, just behind the lower back. Inhale and exhale. Twist it out from this cow pose, from your half cow, your full cow. And exhale back through centre when you're ready. Well done. Right. We've got, no seconds to do wildcard, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay, so give your legs a little bit of a shake out. We're going to have a go at baby grasshopper. So if you do need to stop for whatever reason, that's fine. You can always replay the video at a later date. So, working into that sort of twist position we were in before, I want you to extend out, I'll go this way so I can face the camera, with the left leg. We're going to take the right leg up and over, so it's on the outside edge of your left thigh. We're then going to take the foot a quarter turn, 90 degrees, the toes are pointing that way. That's because we're going to try and transfer the weight that way, okay? So from here, what we're aiming to do, and you might want to get a strap or something if you can't reach your foot, just to bridge the gap. We're going to take the right arm up into the air, allow it to come in front of the right shin, and see if you can take a hold of the outside edge of the left foot. Left hand's going to plant down by the butt, okay, and then we're going to take a little lift up of the insides, okay, squeeze the pelvic floor, squeeze the abs, inhale, and remember we're leaning with the crown of the head, and start to move forward. So you want that left hand quite close to your butt, and see if you can get a little bit of air time and a little bit of lean forward. So it's super yummy stretch out for the hamstrings as well. So don't forget, you can hover there as long as you like. If you want to switcheroo, take the right leg long, lift up with the left, pop it outside the right thigh, quarter turn of the foot, left arm lifts, lift up and around, so extending from the hips to find the outside edge of the right foot, pop the right hand down, next to the butt, inhale, and squeeze to lift. That's it. So if you really pull on the foot, you get that lift of the hips and a little stretch out through the hammies. I really like this one. And then release them down whenever you're ready. I've just noticed my hands are filthy from being on
Gardening one. We've been gardening, haven't we?
Alright, well done everybody. You can always come back to this at the end of the session if you want to have a bit more play with your baby grasshopper. And rolling down whenever you're ready. Take any little stretches that you like, maybe some circles with the knees. You might want to release the knees one way and a windscreen wiper. Release. Maybe a happy baby. Any final little wiggles out before you find your Shavasana. Maybe corpse pose, arms long, legs long, let the toes drop to the side. Or maybe you feel more comfortable with a reclined butterfly. If you've got a brick or a blanket or a towel or something, you could pop it under the hips, or maybe underneath the back of the head. Deep full breath into the body. Hopefully we've loosened off a bit of tension through the body in that sequence. Let's breathe it out. Any remaining worries, stresses, let's see if we can release them with the out breath. I always like to come back to the little sign that we've got in our house which says think happy. Thinking happy, I think, is a big part of how you look on life, how you view things. There's always two ways at least to view different situations, any scenarios, any relationships. So on that breath in, just allow yourself to draw in nice positive vibes. Yeah, we're in a pretty rubbish situation at the moment with COVID-19. Let's think about all the lovely time we're getting to spend with our immediate family maybe, or if you live on your own, all those opportunities to try new things, get stuff done around the house, the garden. Lots of positives to be found. For me, loads of times sew on beaver badges onto the uniforms. Yippee! Alright, one more breath. Inhale.
They should do sewing badge first and
They
sew
should.
their own badges.
And exhale, release. Well done. Little wiggles of your fingers, little wiggles of your toes. Maybe drawing the hands onto the knees, either drawing them into the chest or drawing them back towards that centre line. Have a little rock and a roll. And then one way or another, making your way up to seated. Finding a nice tall spine. And just releasing the shoulders down the back. Keep the eyes closed. Let's just take one more breath together. Inhale to rise up tall. Bringing the hands together. Exhale, release that breath. Let the shoulders be heavy. Take a little bow with the forehead towards the fingertips. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Have a wonderful, whatever day it is, no idea. Take care, folks, and see you next
Monday,
time.
it's Easter Monday, isn't it?
Oh yeah? Happy Easter!
I'll quickly jump in on this opportunity to let you know, because I did this before the class, but I hadn't turned the microphone on. 2 events this weekend. On Saturday we have Heroes for Heroes, which is basically doing power and flex class dressed as superheroes. It's £5 to do the class. I'm doing it as the Hulk, you're doing it as some sort of super lady.
I'm doing it as Super Eyes Lady.
And that is for Sheffield Children's Hospital COVID-19 appeal. And then on the Sunday, we've got, again it's £5, and again the money goes to Sheffield Children's Hospital. It's about gut health, which is great for immunity. I mean, 90% of us is not human. This is about how we look after the other 90%. So jump on that as well, both in the morning.
90% is not human and the other 90%.
Doesn't have to make sense, wife. Sometimes it's just words. Mouth quicker than
You get
brain.
the idea, you get the idea.
That's it,
Well
I'm going
done,
to stop the
folks.
live thing and we can talk to you guys now. If you want